Let's talk to Ralph Schoellhammer, a political scientist, because Labour's Islamophobia definition, according to campaigners, will be used to hinder the police. Angela Rayner, of course, has still got the working group working on this, on sentencing, on charges being brought. Basically, campaigners say there's already laws to protect people of various different faiths, and why do we need a definition of Islamophobia? This story still hasn't gone anywhere, hasn't gone away. Ralph, very good morning to you.
Good to see you, Mike.
Nice to see you. What's the obsession that the left have with this definition? Because, you know, we don't seem to have to worry about a definition of any other you know, sort of faith-based problem, but why do we need this?
Well, let me be very blunt here. This is a preemptive move by the Labour Party to blackmail and threaten everybody who wants an inquiry into the rape and torture gangs, because let's be honest, this is what they are. Right. By the way, what they are, not what they were. These things, these networks still operate. And it's also an attempt to prevent any inquiry into the fact that Islamist networks have infiltrated the Labour Party. I spoke with Raj Mihal yesterday, by the way, who is a man who has done yeoman's work in uncovering the cover-up of the Labour Party regarding these torture and rape gangs. And what the Labour Party is attempting at the moment in all areas of life is a descent, in some areas at least, into a quasi-totalitarian form of government. I mean it as I say it. Like, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here, Mike. What's happening in the UK is very worrisome. The only thing that gives me some comfort is that more and more British people are waking up to it. But this is a dangerous party at the moment. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, the only good news, I suppose, is that the party itself, the government itself, is kind of riven with all sorts of problems, so that they can't really get anything done because they can't actually agree within their own party on what they should be doing.
No, they can't get anything done because their priority is not serving the British people. And let's be very blunt here. This is a problem the leftists all over the West, by the way. Leftist parties, for the most part, with maybe the exception of the Social Democrats in Denmark, but they alone will not save Western civilization, have turned against their own people. Again, I'm not being hyperbolic here. Look at the policies. Who gets priority? Who gets priority in housing? Who gets priority in welfare? Who gets priority in schooling? Wherever you look, it's always people that don't hold a passport of the country that are supposed to be governed by the parties, by the left-wing parties that are in charge. You see it in Germany, you see it in the UK, you see it in the United States, you see it everywhere. And I know usually I was saying, oh, no, this is just exaggeration. It's no longer exaggeration. The numbers demonstrate it.
Well, it does. I mean, when you see the way the police operate in certain situations, whether they're policing a Palestinian demonstration, a pro-Palestinian demonstration, or a demonstration, as we saw at the weekend, Unite the Kingdom, you know, they behave in a very, very different way, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you see the same in other countries as well. I speak from a German experience, but as you know and your viewers know, I care very much about the British people for a variety of reasons. And it is heartbreaking to say that you can call for a new Holocaust, you can be a convicted rapist, and sometimes your punishment is less than saying something the government dislikes. I mean, this is very odd. And the worst part, by the way, the exception, of course, are people like yourself, is the media is almost entirely silent on this. Yeah. They are part of the problem. This is a collusion between a political and media cartel that is not just, you know, hiding the truth, if you will, but they're actively trying to undermine and blackmail people who want to tell the truth. Again, that's a very worrisome development.
Well, many of them are manipulating the truth as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And pretending that certain things haven't happened or other things haven't been said, or, you know, for example, the way that they were describing the numbers at the march on Saturday, you know, 110,000 people. You know, nobody in their right mind thinks that was 110,000 people, and yet that's the narrative that was coming out. That was the official figure that the police came up with. That was the official figure the BBC came up with, and everybody just reported it.
No, I can give you another example. Like there was a new report now published in Australia where the government also told the people that, oh, the people that come migration is only, you know, high-skilled labor. It's the things that the Australian labor market needs. Now we know that if you actually look at the overall migration numbers, only 12% are actually skilled workers, and the rest is, for the most part, a drag on the welfare system, with, as always, the exception of migrants from the UK and from, you know, Western and Eastern Europe. So we are being but it's not even gaslighting anymore because it's done openly, and this is what frustrates me so.
Well, we've started to get some decent figures now out of the Home Office and out of various other government departments because they're being forced to give them out, but they've hidden them for a long time about things like, you know, sexual assaults and who's committing them. you know, which people from which countries, you know, how many people from foreign countries are actually on benefits, because we were always told before, oh no, you know, when migrants come here, they're not on benefits, that doesn't work, doesn't happen. Well, it does happen, and there's millions and millions and millions of pounds being paid out to them every single year as a result of it. And so we are getting a bit more at the truth here, but you're right, there are still people who wish to conceal it.
Yeah, and it's not just a financial problem. People are willing, I guess, to accept, due to economic hardship, a certain cut to their, under worse circumstances, to their income, as long as they feel that everything else is working. But it's the case again, and I'm not speaking just about the UK here. If you live in a country where you feel less safe, less secure, less optimistic about the future, and then on top of it you get poorer as well. I mean, I have to be honest with you, Mike, I think we're entering pre-revolutionary territory here. And if I would be a follower of John Locke, right, at some point you have to say that, you know, if the system turns tyrannical, then the people have the right to revolt. I'm, of course, not fomenting a revolution now. For the moment, revolt at the ballot box. But I think it is very important for the British people to send a very strong signal at the next elections.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen as well, and I think, you know, the two main parties are going to be very, very shocked when they see that how that actually turns out. But listen, great to talk to you, Ralph Schoellhammer. Thank you very much indeed, political scientist there, on the danger of what's going on in Western Europe particularly, but also in other Western countries like the United States of America.